Hello, it's me, Beth the Builder. So I'm doing my porch update. So I sanded and stained my floor like a year ago or so. Maybe more than that, maybe a year, I don't remember. It was one of the first like huge major projects that I did for my house and also for like Beth the Builder. And then it was another like 6 or 7 months after that that I ended up sealing it, which I would not recommend, actually. Weird, right? Now I would definitely do this differently, having done it and, you know, thinking about it, etc. I used mostly like fairly untraditional means of going about finishing this floor. Because what was on top of it was just so terrible and garbage that anything that was like flat and level and hard was 10 times better. But I think now what I would want to do is either, originally, I think I even said this, that like the way to go is to like rent a big old floor sander and go to town and then stain it, seal it, etc. But I didn't have the money for that and I wasn't really willing to do that, and I needed to like a project. I needed to like keep my hands busy for where I was at in my stress levels. And it was a great project of just trying something and it being so much better than what was here. And honestly now, after it's been like this for over a year, I think this is really soft wood. I don't think that this is necessarily like original wood or anything like that to the house. They're like 2-inch boards, so it makes me think that it's just like an underlayment to, you know, level out a surface so you can put whatever else you want on top of it. Kind of like a subfloor, but it's obviously like 2-inch boards. This was maybe not always an enclosed porch like this, opening to my kitchen, so it could have been just like porch floor, you know, and then they covered it with whatever else they wanted. But I think this wood is really soft, which is not necessarily the most ideal for like flooring, versus the other hardwood in my house is skinnier boards and it's like super crazy hard. Like they're probably, I don't know, oak or something really hard that you would find in old homes with old wood floors. So this is definitely not the most ideal flooring, and I think now if I was gonna like redo this, I would probably put something else on top of it, like something more durable and hard. Like now you can get like the really hard manufactured floorboards that are like resistant to like pet claws, like, and kids, and they're just really, really durable, and you can get stuff like that. And I think that's the way to go if you're gonna put new flooring in, and you don't have like original super hard wood floors. But that all takes money and time, of course. So for what this is, like, I'm still really happy with it, and people are really impressed with how it looks compared to like how it used to look and when we first moved in. But that being said, the flooring, like, I did it when, you know, I'd done pretty much very little research. I was like, I'm just gonna like dive in, get rid of all this stupid vinyl flooring and see what's underneath and just see what we can work with. And this just being, you know, floorboards, wood floorboards, it seemed like a perfectly like workable thing. I'm gonna be honest about this flooring. It hasn't fared, overall, I would say it would have fared really, really well if it weren't for having 2 medium to large sized dogs with claws. So even though their claws are like, I don't trim them super consistently, but they're not like super long or anything like that, but they, you know, use them to stand up and walk around. And some of it's from before I sealed it, because I realized the stain and finish wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. And it was an experiment. I was like, I have this, I'm gonna use it. So some of it's from before, and then now, like, it's been, 7 months or more since I sealed it with oil-based polyurethane. And I mean, like, I still think it looks really good, but I definitely notice the scratches and stuff in it. But I think besides that, like, having dogs, it's fared pretty well. But I'll like give you a better shot of the floor and you can decide for yourself what you think it looks like. And of course all that stuff, like, here's one of my dogs right here. Kita, come here, over here. Here, lay down. Okay. She's gonna breathe heavily for everybody. And obviously, like, I do agree, like, think that this was not necessarily the way to go, but it was an experiment, and I have no regrets about it, honestly, because I learned a lot, and it looks 10 times better. I love the dark floor with the lighter walls. It looks really, like, eye-catching and interesting. If I had maybe sealed it a little bit more quickly after I stained it, it could have been more protected more quickly, because polyurethane does that really well. And I only had enough to do 2 coats on this floor, and I think more would have been better to really seal a floor. But again, you know, trying to, like, this is our front door over here, so trying to keep like this space clear of dirt and dust and traffic and all the things for more than 24 to 48 hours becomes like a pain, especially keeping like dust and hair away from that space. It's really, really difficult with 2 furry beasts that run around your house. So let alone like if you had kids or something, I don't even know how you'd do that. This was the first flooring that I like uncovered in my house. It's probably the least nice of anything that is able to be uncovered because of asbestos, you know, in the other parts. Yeah, again, I think this is really soft wood, so it does scratch really easily. And I'd never stained a big space. I'd never sealed a big space. That was a whole thing. It went pretty well. Like, I was pretty happy with how it went, but again, like, more coats would have probably protected it better. And if I'd done it more quickly, that would have also been beneficial. I am really happy with how it looks overall, and even if it's not faring the exact perfect way that I want, you, the person who lives in that space, will always notice that shit more quickly than like just a random person that comes into your home. The person doing it will always be the most critical. That's why I don't need people to like comment at me where it's like, that's not how you do that. I'm like, I know, okay? Or like, that didn't turn out the way it should or something. I'm like, I know. Like, I know I'm not an expert. I'm not a professional. I'm just trying stuff. I'm just like diving in and being willing to like attempt things and learn stuff. That is genuinely what I believe, that like diving in and trying is the best teacher. You can like read all the books in the world, but until you've like gone out and ridden a horse, you won't know what that's like. You'll never know what it's like to go out and take a jump on a horse until you do that thing. And you can read about it and think about it, but you won't really be good at it until you've gone out there and fallen off that horse. That's where like books are great, the internet, education is great, but also like experience and just doing it and figuring out like how to do it is, in my opinion, infinitely more valuable. I've only owned a house for 3.5 years, so it's a whole journey, and I'm really, I'm glad to be on it. Thanks for coming with me on this journey. So, all right, I'll digress about talking about all that shit. I'll let you see my floor, and do, maybe I'll pull up some old footage of what it looked like originally when we first moved in, and then also when I first sealed it and everything like that, just to see. But anyway, yes, I'll show you what's going on here.